Alright. Tomboy Official, what is up? I'm recording here, curbside, and enjoying myself, relaxing. Actually, I might move the car to a shadier spot. Shadier as in containing more shade. Not shadier as in more suspicious. So, now that I'm thinking about it, it might actually be too loud out here. But let's see. Yeah, it might be a little loud out here. There's a little airport near where I'm at, and there's also, what else? Yeah, there's a little airport. There's a major street. I'm not too far from excuse me. Goodness. I'm not too far from I don't know what it's called. There's like this lot where people ride like those motocross bikes. I don't know if they're doing jumps and stuff. It looks like they're just kind of like racing them around. I think it's where they practice. They might rent it out and practice or something. I don't know. But, and I have a feeling it's my neighbors. Because I've got some neighbors that are really into that kind of stuff. Well, not neighbors, but the family down the street from me. Anyways, Pride Month. Got to do an LA Gays Friends, I guess, like Pride Month extravaganza / Juneteenth, belated Juneteenth. Thoroughly enjoyed. I didn't really know what the plan was really looking like, but we definitely covered a lot of ground. According to my calculations, we walked approximately 6.5 miles around WeHo. Did a lot of window shopping, a little bit of actual shopping, making some purchases. I really tried to stick in my budget, and tried not to spend on things that I wasn't intending to spend on. I did spend on something that I would have purchased, but I had not planned to purchase that day. And I did avoid feeling like I was going to get pressured into a $65 purchase of a pre-roll that was not the one I was even asking for, and was probably overpriced by $15 or so. Anyways, it was fun. Uber drivers were good. On the way there, the Uber driver, Lyft technically, was playing classical music, and the ride, I think one way it was gonna run about $48, and the driver asked, can you pay me $40? So he basically gave me a discount, $40 for the ride, and no tip. So I got a pretty good discount. He got all the money in pocket. I just sent him Venmo. And then, sounds like he does that a lot, especially if it's a lengthy ride. But that's how you hustle, man. That's how you hustle. I'm not gonna hate on that. I'd rather give $40 to an individual than you know, let the company take whatever percentage. I mean, $48. If I tip 20%, that's what, like $4.80 times two. Uh, Let me show you how hard it is for me to do math in my head. Um, it's like 60, so like not 960, 960 for a tip. That's a decent tip, 20%. Um, but a $9.80 tip, and then let's say, I mean the ride app isn't gonna give him $43 or so. That's not likely. They're not gonna give him $43. I doubt they would even give him $33. It's probably closer to 25. I don't really know for sure, but I'm gonna guess it's probably closer to 25. I'm gonna guess that they're taking probably about 50%, if not more, from drivers. And it was almost, it was like 50 something minutes one way, so about an hour one way. So, I mean, and I got a discount. So instead of me paying the 48 plus 980, so almost another $10, instead of me paying almost like $59, I paid $40. So I almost got a $20 discount, and he probably made an extra $20. So I don't really know how much they were gonna pay him, but he was quiet the whole time, played classical music. I don't think I've ever come across a driver who's only played classical music the whole time. It was cool though. I guess I'd rather have classical music than somebody playing music too loud or news radio. I don't mind sports, but it's kind of like when you want to talk to people, because I wanted to talk to people, not the driver, but it's kind of hard to have like some other person like talking in the background. Then you kind of feel like, oh, they're listening to this, so I can't talk. But it's like, I don't know. I don't really know. Everybody listens to their own interests, or they try to like cater towards other people. But yeah, it was fun. Good experience. Good time. It was. I didn't think it wasn't gonna be a good time, but I get in my head about stuff, and I kind of thought, like, not because of who I was with. I was just kind of maybe a little stressed about it. Like, I kind of overthink things before they even happen, and I'm like, oh, like, what if the ride's like way more expensive than I think it's gonna be, or what if it's too hot out, like so hot that it's not even comfortable, or what if I keep having to use the bathroom or something, and there's long lines. Like, I think about the most random stuff. But again, when you go out in a busy city and it's Pride Month and it's WeHo, one of the bigger neighborhoods in LA, probably the biggest one in LA, probably the biggest one in Southern California, in all honesty. It's not bigger than San Francisco, but that's north, but it's the Bay. But I don't know. I think it is kind of an interesting it's an interesting area. We definitely discovered a lot of things, and walked into stores. There were a lot of stores to like walk into and look at clothing, cannabis products, eat in between, grab a little drink. We walked around a while. The Abbey had some kind of a drag show going on. We walked around a while, ate pretty good food at a spot that wasn't overpriced. Beaches, it was good. I'd definitely go there again. They gave out, it seemed like at a certain point they were giving out all you could drink, like lemon drop shots or lemonade shots. I don't know what they were. They were lemony, extra sour, delicious, cold. And they had a lot of attractive staff, kind staff. They had some, I don't know what it was called. I think I took a picture of the signs. Let me see if I can find this. I haven't forgotten, guys, about what I talked about with YouTube. I initially tried to upload. The problem I was having where I said that I needed to convert the videos, that was incorrect. I don't need to convert the format. It's just I can only upload 15 at a time. And then when I was uploading some of them, they showed like errors. And so I couldn't really upload as many as I wanted. I might try and do it through my phone because I still have all the footage on my phone, so I might just try to log in on my phone and just upload, but I don't know if I can upload multiple. I might have to make an iMovie video for each segment. I really wasn't wanting to go into any kind of editing, but I might have to use iMovie or use CapCut. I like using CapCut on my phone, kind of. I've done it before. I've kind of enjoyed it. I might make a few. This just sounds like it's so much extra work. Like make a few video segments because I decided like I don't want Muna's videos in a whole video with all the others. I could put timestamps, but I think I want separate videos of just each artist. Because some of the stuff I recorded, it wasn't artists. It was just like footage of like what the festival looked like. I try not to record myself talking to people or record any voices in the backgrounds of other people talking unless they're just like, unless I'm at like a bar or something and the people are just like incessantly talking and it's like I want it to like record something and these people just won't stop talking. But I try not to like involve other people's conversations. But we'll see. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because I want a little bit of accountability and I want to kind of push myself to do it. It's not that it's really that hard. It's just that I don't really have the willpower or desire to fully do it, even though it's like, well, what's the point in taking all this footage if I'm not really going to share it anywhere? And where better to share it than on Tomboy Official, where I post content. I mean, it doesn't make any sense not to ever really post videos. I think I have like 3 videos on the YouTube channel and some like ancient websites or blogs or something linked, so I don't really even know what's going on there. I barely looked at it the other day. But yeah, I tried a couple times. I've tried a couple things, and then the video footage just wasn't going to be as easy as I thought it was going to be. I just wanted like a quick wham bam, you know. So I'm probably going to do the method I mentioned. And I feel like the longer I sit on it, the longer it's not interesting to me or anybody else. But I think I got some decent footage, even though for the concert, for the music festival part, I was kind of not at the best angle. I was at a good angle to see the screens, but I wasn't at a good angle to see the stage. I was kind of, they had like a little catwalk that went kind of through the middle, not all the way through the middle of the crowd, but it kind of stuck out in the middle. So if any of the band came out, any of the band members or singers came out, then I could see them more easily that way. But when they were back, the screens were kind of like blocking most of the back kind of areas of the stage from my angle, but still, you know, I had some screen footage in there too. So, anyways, that was a couple weeks ago. This is now. This is, you know, WeHo weekend. Back up in WeHo, but this time just for the day, just for Saturday. We were there from about, I think we left my place around noonish, and then I had to go mail something. That took a while. But I mailed out some things to some friends. It's been long overdue. Long overdue. Like ridiculously overdue. And then yeah, after mailing out some stuff, we kind of Ubered from there, from the mall. Shout out Del Amo Mall. Ubered from there, with the classical music guy, with the $40, into his Venmo. Nice chill ride. And then we basically went and yeah, the first place we ate at was Beaches, but we checked out the Abbey. It's been renovated. I don't know if I remember how it looked. There was a little section kind of across from where we were that I don't remember there being that, like, little middle raised up kind of like bar. It wasn't upstairs, but it was kind of like up a couple steps. I don't remember that being there, but again, I don't think I've been there in like over a year, maybe 2 years at this point. It may have been about 2 years, but it was just good to be there. Just something about that area just kind of feels like it reminds me of Hillcrest. Just it goes on forever, and it's longer and bigger, and there's a lot more there. I mean, with Hillcrest, it's like University Avenue is like the main little section in San Diego. There's a little bitty segment right there. It has that familiar feel, but I like WeHo more. But also LA has been my home longer. I was raised in LA, not in WeHo, but still, like, I'm not unfamiliar with it. It's kind of more my jam, but I do like Hillcrest. Like, it's not that I don't like it. It's kind of hard to compare. In a way, it's almost apples to oranges. But yeah, cool spot. The Abbey was looking good. Beaches was looking good. Okay. I'm not one of those people who can call out what every type of airplane is, but these airplanes take off like right over in this area. But it's a quick, short amount of loud noise. I hear sirens in the distance. Like, you gotta be kidding me. At least you can't hear the motorbikes from where I reparked. Yeah, just really nice days out. I was really glad to be outdoors yesterday. I was like, I don't really want to be walking around today, and the beach, I'm pretty sure, is crowded. But I was like, let me just get out, at least get out, get some fresh air. They're plumbing at my house. They were doing it yesterday, so I was more than glad to leave, because apparently they did a whole lot of drilling, so at least I wasn't even there. I mean, more than that. I'm not saying, like, that's the only reason why I wanted to leave the house. Like, I honestly wanted to go and do what we went out and did. So Beaches was cool. I'm trying to think of where we went next. I know we walked around quite a few times. I feel like we would have walked around between that time. I don't remember exactly what we did, but I feel like the edible had kicked in by the time we kind of got to By the time we got to just go. By the time they got to I don't know. I always hope people are okay because I know it's an emergency, but I don't know. It just goes to show how many emergencies happen, you know? Like, I don't record all the time, but to think about how often I do record and how often while I'm recording there are sirens. I mean, there were sirens at least two other times, maybe three times, but at least two other times today in this area that I remember. And sometimes it might happen and I might not even be paying attention. But that's not uncommon to have probably up to about 7 or so, 5 to 7 or so bouts of sirens per day. And that's just for this area. So I think there's like 5 emergencies requiring, you know, ambulances and whatnot per day. Within a close enough distance that these guys are being dispatched. I mean, that it honestly was not like that when I was a kid. Like, I did specifically notice it more growing up here. Moving back here, I was like, I don't remember there being this many sirens. And I have a friend I talk to on the phone, and almost every time I talk to him, there's sirens. And that's just kind of how it is. It's like all the time. And at night, they don't always run the siren. I mean, I just see a truck right now. It doesn't have the sirens on, but or lights or anything. But I do also just see the cars, the vehicles driving around. And there are a lot of times in the late evenings or night where they don't put the sirens on. Traffic is a little decreased, but they just put the lights on, so I don't even always see the lights. So there might even be more urgent situations happening during either like late night or early morning hours when they don't even put the sirens on. I don't hear, and I'm not positioned in the house anywhere where you can like look out the window. We don't really have windows facing forward, like to the street, unless you're in the garage or in my brother's room. He has windows facing the street, but all the other rooms are behind, so you can't really see the street unless you open the door and look outside. So we kind of have that, you know. This isn't even like an unsafe region of LA, and so I can't even imagine, you know, other areas. It's just, I don't know. And LA hasn't like fully gone under. Like it's somewhat thriving. It's not, I don't know. If I say compared to New York, which I only know like what the media talks about, but New York doesn't seem like things are going very well over there. I saw something about some kind of Costco getting like looted or something, or raided. I don't know. I think looted. I don't even know. But I don't know where I was going with all that. Basically, we walked around a lot, you know. It was good, you know. I was sweating. I got sore. I do get this weird itchy leg thing that I still don't understand when I first start walking, and it lasts for maybe 15 minutes. So that was kind of annoying at the start, but it's just something I deal with. I think it's because I'm pretty sedentary, and because I've heard it can be an allergy-related thing, or something about like your blood, like your veins being so constricted, and it's like they're oxygen deprived or something. Like you need more oxygen-rich blood or something. Maybe it has something to do with anemia. Maybe it has something to do with blood sugar. I don't really know what it has to do with. I know it didn't always used to happen, and it does happen, but it goes away. It always goes away. I've never had it last. I think the longest it's ever lasted was maybe like 30 minutes or so. I remember back when I used to walk and then try to jog a little bit. And I remember walking like to the beach and then like walking home or walking, I don't know how far I walked, but I remember walking home and having that happen. And then I didn't stop walking at all. Like I just kept walking and then tried to jog from there. And I remember coming in the house and being like, ooh, like my legs did not feel good. Like they just it felt like it was spreading. Like it spreads like up my thighs. Like it was spreading like kind of like up my back kind of. And I don't know if it's like some kind of weird allergic reaction. But it goes away when I stop. After like 15 or so minutes of walking, if I stop and then just start walking again, like stop, relax for a little bit, let my heart rate go a little down. Like my heart rate's not like super high when I'm walking anyways, but I mean, let it go down to like a resting or closer to resting rate, and then start walking again. Usually it goes away, or usually it just goes away by itself after about 15, maybe 20 minutes max. But it's annoying. It's that much of it's one of those things where it's like it kind of deters me from wanting to really walk around too much. But yeah, that was kind of the only thing I noticed. And then like the sweating. But yeah, I ate a big omelet with some steak and had a turnover. I requested no ice cream, and then it was like a cream. It had like cream inside of the turnover, like a puff turnover. It was fresh baked, steaming. I had a little whiskey and Coke. I think I had half of that. Water. I tend to not really buy a lot of beverages, just water. But I wanted to drink a little because I was like, I don't really drink much. I drank at my friend's wedding, so now I've drank twice this summer. I think twice. So I drank more at the friend's wedding. I think I drank like 1.5 or 1 and some cups of whiskey, like a short glass. So yeah, it was nice. I got a little buzz. I had a little mini crossfade going on, but it was like pleasant. And walking around once I kind of acclimated to the sunshine and the my legs stopped doing that itching thing, I was thoroughly just enjoying from that point on. Hit up some dispensaries. One of them was really small. Well, let me see. How many did we go to? I don't think I have all the cards. Let me see. Maybe I have some in my wallet. I thought I had collected quite a few business cards, but I don't think I have all the cards with me. Let me see if I have like receipts and stuff. I don't think I have all the cards. I thought I had more cards. Let's see. What's this thing? Yeah, this is one place I went. That was later on though. So let me save that. And then I don't even remember buying any. Oh, now I do. Okay, never mind. Okay. So I'll talk about these places. And I gotta make sure I don't give my mom these receipts. She does some kind of app where she scans the receipts, and I think she gets 10 points for every receipt she scans. But when I go and buy things that I don't think I want her questioning, I just don't give her those receipts. So let's see. We went into, I don't know in what order we went to these places. We went into a nutrition shop called Route US 66 Nutrition, or Nutrition Route 66. The website is nutritionroute66.com in WeHo on Santa Monica Boulevard. And Matt Cairn, or Kieran, Keirn. His Instagram is at root66 underscore nutrition. Really cool little shop. I think it's his shop. I don't know 100%, but I think so. These are his cards. I got one of his cards. Kind. He seems like a kind person. Knowledgeable. A lot of the supplements were big whey protein, different types of whey protein. I think he had some kind of estrogen product. I don't know if it was estrogen with testosterone or just estrogen. He mentioned something about muscle building that I thought was pretty cool. Let me see if I can find the product, because he has a website. nutritionroot66.com. And I'm not a doctor, so I'm just super interested in supplements and just any kind of remedies, natural things that you can take. Because I've noticed how it's worked for me in my life. Like, sometimes certain supplements can take me from feeling like I don't really feel that good, or like I don't have the energy I want, or the focus I want, or whatever it may be. It's usually an energy thing, or the ability to relax. It's either like my anxiety's too high and I need to relax, or my energy's feeling low or foggy and I need to kind of pump it up or feel a little bit sharper. Usually it's one of those three. Like, I don't usually have things going on in too many other categories. Even for me, I don't know, like, I wouldn't say I never have complaints about my mood, like irritability, anger, sadness, that kind of thing, but honestly, I think that comes, in my opinion, I think it comes from the fatigue of the other stuff going on too long. But I do experience depression, but I don't know if I honestly would. I mean, I know diagnostic criteria. I wouldn't diagnose myself with major depressive disorder, and it's not out of a stigma situation, because I do think at one point, I think there have been points in my life where I have had it, just because it lasted longer and was more intense than what I remember. So I would say in high school, I experienced a major depressive episode, and I would say also probably during the pandemic, and then kind of like a grief related depression when I moved back to LA, like kind of just like grieving, like maybe like the loss of a lifestyle in a way, like having to kind of adjust to, like, okay, moving back home, and like the ego attached to all that, and like, it honestly helps that a lot of my childhood friends live with their parents. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't want my friends to thrive, but it does help that it's not just me, and it's people that I honestly, when I look at them, I'm like, oh yeah, they've got it together. Like, they've got, they're smart, they're intelligent, they're good people. They've kind of got things going for themselves. So I don't really judge them living with family, and so I would kind of hope that there's kind of less judgment against me about that. But I do kind of, it's not, there's not a whole lot of appeal to it, but in a way there can be. I mean, there are definitely pros, but it's just one of those things where it's like kind of culturally, I would say there's something about maybe like the majority culture, because even as a minority and with my ethnicity and the groups of cultures I come from, it's not a problem to live at home or never move out. Like, it's not considered like a problem. I mean, if you're a problem and you're staying at home and like being abusive towards your parents or family or whatever, that is not right. But I mean, like, if you just never move out or never decide you want to move, nobody's gonna like question it. Like, well, maybe they'll question it, but it's not. There's not as big of a stigma. It's not like in American culture how it's like move out. You're 18. It's not like that. Like that's not a conversation. I mean, the only reason someone would technically ask you to move out is if they're going against the culture, or if you're kind of getting in their way, or if they can't afford you, or if you're kind of mooching off of them, then they would probably ask you to leave. But um, if you're just living your life and working and being a productive member of society, living with your parents, like it's not seen as like, oh, why is that person not moved out? You know. So I am kind of trapped in like multiple cultures with that situation, but um, yeah, like I'd say you guys have heard me when my mood's not great. Um, I would say more. I get more like bored, uninspired. I'm not quite um as inspired by things as I'd like to be. Um, like the stuff that I'm involved with as far as work, it's I don't know. This job honestly feels a little less like less thinking than my other job, but I feel like I kind of need that too. Um, and the more I talk about it with people, the more I realize I'm like I really don't want to be in this place more than 6 months. But I said I'd give it 6 months because that'll give me more opportunities potentially. I'd be able to apply within that company. So if there are opportunities in that company, I would have served my time of 6 months and been able to at least apply for something better within the company. And that is an option I think is worth doing the time for, especially if I don't have any other feet in any other doors right now, other than my old jobs. But I already know that I don't want to go back to those because there's no way to really move in those jobs. So I don't really want that. But yeah, um, I mean, if I do have major depressive disorder, it's like okay, I do, but I I I kind of feel like it it's not for me. I feel like there have when it has occurred, it's definitely had situations attached to it. Like, and I'm not saying that like there's never situations attached, but I feel like once I was able to either leave or cope with those situations and kind of like adjust, then the depression was no longer. I wouldn't call it depression anymore. Like maybe I wasn't like super chipper all the time, but I wouldn't fully say it was the same thing. Um, but I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting to think about. But so yeah. Okay, so I was gonna look up this supplement. I don't know how. I don't know why I'm like so off topic. Um, let's see. Oh, they've got some nootropics. Move, cookies, move. These cookie settings are always in the way. They almost make you want to accept all because if you go into the settings, then you have to like go and um like click a bunch of stuff in there. Let's see. I don't know which one it was actually, but I'm guessing it would have been in women's. It looked like it was pink. I don't know. Is there a search? I don't know if there's a search button. It might have been this raspberry ketone thermal complete. Nah, I don't think so. It looked like a thin pink and white bottle, but I don't know that if I was looking at the right one. Joint formula? I don't know. I don't know. I would guess it would be in women's. Because I thought he said estrogen. But these aren't really looking like what I thought. Supercharger. Maybe it wasn't. Yeah, Women's Muscle Complex. This one. Women's Muscle Complex, Hormone Balance and Health. So let's see. Increase energy, performance. Firm build and tone. Women's Muscle Complex is the premier compilation of all natural elements specifically designed for a woman's unique body and development. The greatest way to utilize the feminine physique is to design a supplemental program specifically designed for women, which will allow a maximum output in performance and efficiency while allowing the woman's body its own proportions, aesthetics, and balance to shine in its most proficient form. Route 66's Women's Muscle Complex is specifically and exclusively designed for women to maximize and exemplify the utmost of the feminine physique and potential. Yes, so it is a pink and white bottle. Sometimes I don't trust my own memory. So let's see what's got in it. Alright, so it's got... So for 2 capsules, and it comes with 30 servings per bottle, so I guess that means it comes with 60 capsules. It has vitamin A, 20% of the daily value. It has B1, thiamine, mononitrate. That's 83% of the daily value. Vitamin B3, niacin, vitamin B5, vitamin B6, vitamin B12, zinc, L-arginine, L-tyrosine, and then this blend that's called bioperine, that proprietary blend. It has a bunch of stuff that I don't know what, other than ginkgo biloba and ginger. I don't really... sarsaparilla root, asparagus extract. Other than those things, I don't really know what the rest of this stuff is. But it looks like it's a copyrighted or a trademarked thing. A proprietary blend. So one thing I'm noticing when I'm looking at like blends of stuff, or I'm getting better at like reading nutrition labels. I've noticed with a lot of things that have to do with focus, with energy, even if it's not caffeine, there are usually a lot of B vitamins, The reason why I said tyrosine like that is because I have a nootropic gum, this NeuroGum, that has L-theanine, but it's very interesting to see, and zinc oxide. Zinc is in a lot of things too. Oh, it has ashwagandha and matcha root. So yeah, I've heard of those too. But yeah, like when you start seeing a lot of like natural terms, and then a lot of like different types of vitamins, it's kind of interesting. It makes me kind of wonder a little bit more, because I'm like, there's a lot of stuff that I've been, not a lot, maybe a lot, I don't know if I'd consider it a lot, but there's a lot of stuff that has proprietary blends or some kind of blend, some kind of specialty trademarked blend to it, where they don't always share those ingredients, and then some other stuff they share the actual ingredients. I know that it's like the C4. C4, I believe it's a nootropic. It's the brain one. What's this one called? Smart Energy. It's got 0 sugar, natural energy, and it has something called, what does it have? What's it called? Cognizin. It's from, I think it's a Japanese, I think I looked it up. It's a Japanese trademarked blend. It says trademark of Kiowa Hakko Bio Company Limited. Cognizant. So that's in here, and well, I'm drinking one now. I probably shouldn't because it's like 1:30, but I'm actually pretty tired today. But yeah, I'm just taking a sip. But yeah, it's good stuff. It seems like it's good stuff. I don't really know, but it was a cool shop. I like to try to pick up whatever bits of information I can pick up, even if it's not like I don't fully know what's going on. I've rambled a lot. I'm running out of time. We went to this place, Showtime Clothing. Very cool. The address 8915 Santa Monica Boulevard in West Hollywood. We went to a taco shop, Guisados. Guisados.la if you need information, and then the West Hollywood location 8935 Santa Monica Boulevard, West Hollywood. They have other locations: Boyle Heights, Echo Park, downtown LA, Burbank, Beverly Hills, Pasadena, Hermosa Beach. We checked out a cannabis lounge. That was probably my favorite spot. It was a dispensary when you walk in, and then it had a lounge where you could buy their products. No outside products, but you could buy their products, or they had like edible products there or smokable products there. You could go upstairs to this outdoor lounge, and there are 2 food places where you can scan their QR codes and order delivery. You have to tell the people who work there, and those places will deliver the food to the lounge, and the waiters bring it to you. Or you can do like me and make a mistake, and I didn't choose the West Hollywood location when I was trying to get chicken wings. I didn't choose the West Hollywood location. I chose the Hollywood location, and ended up not getting my order because it was too far, and I didn't have a car there because I Ubered. So yeah, but it was only like $9, so it wasn't really a big deal at all. And they're gonna refund the money, so it's not really a big deal. I just didn't get the food, but I ended up ordering chicken wings somewhere else that cost more, and they were also not that good. Let's see. We went to a dispensary that also does deliveries, and they have shroom products. So that was appealing to me. You could buy them or get them delivered or shipped. And then there was another spot. Rocco's. They had a trans and non-binary night of the dancers. They were trans or non-binary dancers, and it was fabulous. What of it we got to watch was fabulous. I think we probably watched about an hour or so, I feel like. I don't know. They started late, and they started late. But yeah, it was a good time. Like, all the MCs were cool at all the spots. Did we go somewhere else? I feel like we went somewhere else. But yeah, we hit quite a few places. Like, as far as the shopping and everything. There was like a dispensary situation. They always want to sell stuff, which makes sense, but I didn't really want to buy anything. I bought just like a little glass one-hitter tube, because it was like $4, and I gave them an extra dollar. But they were trying to sell me like $65 pre-roll. I wanted a backwoods. I've been looking for backwoods or Bearwood. I think it's Bearwoods pre-roll. I don't think they sell them anymore. But they had like a glass tip mouthpiece, and they would use blunt wraps, and then they'd have wax inside with the I don't know if it's wax or crumble or what it was, or butter, but I think it was like I think it was wax, like a cannabis wax inside with the weed, and then they'd have keef on the outside. And those things, man, they tasted good, they smelled good, they burned slow. You get really high off of just one hit. Like, you didn't really need a whole lot. And for me, they would last forever. And they used to cost like $20 to $35. But yeah, there are these other pre-rolls. These guys were saying that they're good or better, that they were trying to sell for like $65. And I'm like, dude, like, that's like double what I used to pay. And I don't even know these brands, you know, like I'm not going to take your word for it that it's better. And another thing I'm noticing, a lot of products don't really have CBD in them, or they don't have a lot of CBD in them. I actually like a lot of CBD in my products. It's really kind of hard to find pre-rolls or flower. Like, I feel like a lot of people want only the THC, so that's the market they're kind of growing for and selling for. But I want more than THC. I want CBD too. And it's really hard to find like a 1-to-1 with like flower, or even like a higher percentage than like just a couple, like barely any CBD in it. Like, I don't think I've had like a CBD dominant. Actually, I do have a CBD. I don't know if it's CBD. I don't know what it is. It's some kind of hemp product. I don't know exactly what it is. It's a non-psychoactive hemp cigarette. Doesn't have nicotine, doesn't have tobacco. It's smooth, I remember that, and it smells nice. But anyways, I'll record more about the weed stuff on the weed channel. I purchased something called Gooms. They have what's called a nootropic proprietary blend, which I don't know if it's a legal shroom substitute or if it's actual psilocybin. I asked them in the dispensary that sold this, because I saw they had polka bars, but I was like, because those are kind of they have a good reputation, but they're chocolate, and I was like, I don't want to carry chocolate around all day, they melt. And they were like, oh, it won't melt, but I was like, yeah, you're just trying to upsell me. Like, I didn't say that, but I could kind of tell, because I'm like, well, those are $65, and what I wanted to buy was like $35. And so, I tried it this morning. I don't know what I think. I think I'll stick to the shrooms where I can figure out what the strain is, because to me that's important. Because I actually do buy particular strains. I'm not trying to just buy like a mystery mix of, I don't know what it is, but now I have something that's like a mystery mix, so I don't mind having it. But they're called Gooms. The one I have is like a Nerds flavor. They do not taste like Nerds. They do taste like cough syrup though. It's a gummy, 0.4 grams. Yeah, all it has in it that's supposed to get you some kind of psychedelic feel if you go past the microdose. The microdose is 1 to 2 gummies. If you have more than that, then it's past the microdose. There aren't a lot of reviews on it outside of TikTok, and I'm not gonna download TikTok just yet to watch it. because I delete TikTok whenever I'm not using it. And it's, let's see, it's, it's, like, I guess it's, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily um, prefer the non-psilocybin one or the mystery mushroom mix one. But I did get a lot of the effects that are familiar to me when I do have psilocybin that are specific to psilocybin, and nothing else that I've taken when I microdose it. So I don't really know. But yeah, got home well. The Uber driver was cool. I had accidentally put the Uber to my house instead of to where I parked my car, and he was cool letting me change it. And then we had a good talk, but it's kind of one of those talks where it's like, I don't understand why it is that people don't listen. Like, when you work in like a case management field, I know it's like an admirable field and people like to encourage others to do it. But also, I feel like when I say that it's not fully for me and I don't really see myself doing it lifelong, people don't seem to hear that. They're like, "Oh, but it's good." And I'm like, "No, but it's not." Like, I want to do other things. This job though isn't like mental health case management so much. I think I've only had like 2 conversations with people that were relevant to mental health, and a lot of people I've closed. So I've closed a big batch and about to close a big batch this week, and so uh, pretty soon everyone from May should be closed. So it's just a matter of timing with things. But yeah, I feel pretty like, yeah, it's good for now. It's good for now. But yeah, I think that's the majority of what I have to share about pretty much my thoughts on everything. I guess I should, yeah, like, I had a really good time. I'm just kind of tired, a little bit out of it, but in a good way. Like, I've got a good energy going from yesterday. Like, I feel like it just felt good to be out. I felt good about the day. Everything I was worrying about didn't happen. I mean, none of it really was an issue. I don't even remember specifically why I was kind of like feeling a little bit burdened, but that's just something that I'm trying to get over, you know. It's that depression mindset, that I'm too tired to do anything and everything's a burden and I'm not enjoying it and it's not going to be fun. A little bit of anxiety in there too, but it's like, I pretty much always have fun when I hang out with my friends. I mean, there was maybe one time where I felt like I got kind of duped by people with like a concert that it seemed to me that somebody wanted me to buy a ticket so that they didn't really tell me that they weren't going, and I feel like they thought that if they told me they weren't actually going to the concert, I would have backed out and wouldn't have gone with the other person. But I feel like they could have told me, like they never told me. So that was the only time I can think of. when I was like, see you later, like today, they're like, no, I won't be there.